Hey guys, this is Carl from carlsapsy.com here with another tutorial. If you have any questions about my videos or anything in general, head to my website and you can message me via my Contact Me page. Or if you want to, just leave me a message down below in the comment section and like my videos and subscribe to me if you want to. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at the ternary conditional operator. So this is again very similar to the if-else statements that we've been making before. It's just a different way of writing it. It's a bit more of a cleaner syntax, and rather than it being within a set of scope where you can just write a piece of a code block, this is more just as a formal statement that you're going to be making. So we're going to be declaring a variable. For example, we'll call it string a, and then if the conditions are met, then one of the statements will be printed out. If they're not, then the else statement will be printed out effectively. So we're going to go ahead and make a new class, and I'm going to call this class ternary conditional app. Notice the class name has got a capital T, capital C, and capital A, like I mentioned before. And I'm just going to go ahead and take out the template. Okay, what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to be taking across the same values that I'd taken across from the last video, from the if-else video, purely because it makes explanation a lot easier, because I'm effectively doing the same thing just in a different way. Okay, so as you can see, I've got double j is equal to 90, int k is equal to 90, and int l is equal to 10. Now, I'm not going to be going through nested ternary conditionals today, but I will be doing that in a future tutorial. Okay, so as you can see, if I compile this initially, it will be fine. Remember your closing of your curly braces. And I'm going to be making another, I'm just going to be making a different representation of the same thing. Okay, so when you're using a nested ternary, what you have to remember is the format of it. So you're effectively saying if one condition is met, so put this in brackets, so if x question mark, then you want to print out the statement y. And if that statement is, so if x is not evaluated to be true, then you want to print out z. So that's like the general format of it. So if x is true, print y, else print z. Okay, so let's put this into action. So we've said here, if j is smaller than k, so we can first of all make a variable called a, which is of string type, and we can say, does is j smaller than k? Question mark. If it is, then we want to print out true, or else we want to print out false. Okay, so and then we're going to end it with a semicolon, and then system.out.println a. Okay, now what's going to happen is it's going to check whether j is smaller than k. Now, is j smaller than k? So is 90 smaller than 90? Well, no, it's not. So what the answer is going to be is false. Okay, so as we both know that, so I can just go ahead and, well, I'll leave this up. So what's going to happen is it's going to check here that if j and k are equal, then it's going to say j and k are equal, but in this case, it's just going to say false. So let's go ahead and compile this, and then right click. Okay, so in the first statement, it said j and k are equal, and in the second one, it said j and k equal is false, because those are my only two conditions that I've set. Now, what I can do instead, to make life a bit easier, or to include more conditions, so this is what I've initially got here. So I've got string a is that. Now, after the colon, I can make another variable. So I can say j is equal to k, close brackets, question mark, and then I can say j and k are equal. Okay, so now I'm checking, is J smaller than K? If so, then print true. Else if, is J equal to K? If it is, then print this statement, or else print this statement. Okay, so let's compile this. Oh, okay, so you can't have both, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's do that. And right click. Okay, so the first statement says J and K are equal, and now the second statement also says J and K are equal. Because the first one evaluated to be false, therefore it's ignored. The next statement is therefore evaluated, and therefore this is true, which is therefore prints out J and K are equal. So you can have any amount that you'd like of these. Okay, there's no stopping you there's no stopping you to say how many variables you can or cannot have, or how many conditions you'd like to be checked. Now, if you're having, let's say, I don't know, 10, 15 conditions, it's obviously not going to fit onto all one line. What you can do instead is you can make this a bit neater. So you can just press enter there, and okay, so you can do it like that. Now, what this effectively does is it just kind of because our white space doesn't really matter in Java. I could have typed this whole piece of code out on one line and would have made no difference. Because of the way I've done it, it just makes it a bit more readable. So I've declared a string of type. I've declared a variable a of string type, and I'm first checking the condition: is J smaller than K? Is that true? Next, if I'm having more conditions, then you have to end it with a colon, and at the final statement, which is your else statement, is when you have to use a semicolon. Okay, to indicate that you've finished the statement. Because remember, you're not using scope, you're not writing a full code of block in here. You can if you wanted to, there's no stopping you. However, as this is just a statement, at the end you have to end it with a semicolon. And that's really all there is to it. There's nothing really else you can use for ternary conditions. However, if you look, I mean, all of the if-else statements were written in this big, like, 8 lines, whereas I've used about 4 here to do the whole thing. So it does make it a bit more efficient, and it is a bit easier to read as well. Okay, so that's really about it. So if you have any other questions, then feel free to leave me a message down below, or drop me an email via my website, and otherwise, thank you very much for watching. This is Carl from carlsapti.com.